3.2 Hypothesis tests concerning the population mean. Many hypotheses about the world around us can be phrased as yes or no questions. Do they mean hourly earnings of recent U.S. college graduates equal $20 per hour? Are mean earnings the same for male and female college graduates? Both of these questions embody specific hypotheses about the population distribution of earnings. The statistical challenge is to answer these questions based on a sample of evidence. This section describes hypothesis tests concerning the population mean. Does the population mean of hourly earnings equal $20? Hypothesis tests involving two populations are mean earnings the same for men and women are taken up in section 3.4. Null and alternative hypotheses. The starting point of statistical hypotheses testing is specifying the hypothesis to be tested, called the null hypothesis. Hypothesis testing entails using data to compare the null hypothesis to a second hypothesis, called the alternative hypothesis, that holds if the null does not. The null hypothesis is that the population mean, big E of big Y, takes on a specific value denoted mu sub big Y comma 0. The null hypothesis is denoted big H sub big H sub 0, and thus big H sub 0 or sub naught, big H sub naught, is the expectation of big Y equals mu sub big Y comma 0 equation, or sub naught, equation 3.3. Again, big H sub naught colon big E of big Y equals mu sub big Y, also sub naught, equation 3.3. For example, the conjecture that on average in the population, college graduates earn $20 per hour constitutes a null hypothesis about the population distribution of hourly earnings. Stated mathematically, if big Y is the hourly earnings of a randomly selected recent college graduate, then the null hypothesis is that big E of big Y equals 20. That is mu sub big Y and naught equals 20 in the equation 3.3. The alternative hypothesis specifies what is true if the null hypothesis is not. The most general alternative hypothesis is that big E of big Y is not equal to mu sub big Y naught, which is called a two-sided alternative hypothesis, because it allows big E of big Y to be either less than or greater than mu sub big Y naught. The two-sided alternative is written as big H sub 1 colon big E of big Y is not equal to mu sub big Y naught. Two-sided alternative, equation 3.4. One-sided alternatives are also possible, and these are discussed later in this section.